This episode is brought to you by our friends at Raycon. March isn't just any month. For sinners like you and me, it's Oscar season. So let's immerse ourselves in the magic of the season with top-notch audio gear from Raycon. These earbuds come standard with premium audio at half the price, have optimized gel tips for a comfy fit, and pack in 8 hours of playtime with a 32-hour battery life. It's no wonder they have tens of thousands of 5-star reviews. We think they're great for everything from listening to the latest episode of your favorite podcast to hearing the sound design of this year's Best Picture nominees. Still wondering if they may be perfect for you? They also have built-in tap functions to control things like noise isolation and awareness mode, essential for tuning in and tuning out depending on the activity. Click the link in the description box or go to buyraycon.com/sins to get 20% off your Raycon purchase, plus free shipping. Hard to sin that. Disney. Cool. Got it. It takes place sometime preceding a year before I've decided to watch this movie. I'm going to say this is 1933. Cool. So, sometime in 1933. Continue.
Antarctica, an inhospitable wasteland.
Veneration. Also, Werner Herzog was born in 1942, so he didn't exist to narrate this in 1933.
Skipper, we appear to be flightless.
Oh, well, what's the point of these?
Skipper would be excellent at evolution sense.
Why do you think there are always documentary crews filming us?
Oh, please, there's no way that's a wireless boom mic. And more importantly, this kind of equipment didn't exist in 1933. DreamWorks movie kicks off the plot by having a main character chase down an egg cliche. Okay, it's mostly this in Ice Age 3. But I'm counting Prince of Egypt, because that basket they abandoned Moses to the alligators in was definitely egg-shaped.
Look, he's fine.
Sam Jacksoning a seagull as if your movie title is Deep Blue Seal.
Aren't snakes nature's snakes?
How should I know? I live on the flippin' frozen tundra.
Skipper knows what snakes are, even though he's never been anywhere except Antarctica. But didn't know that penguins couldn't fly?
Gunther, give them a shove.
Pushing penguins perched on a peak by putting. Your pitching wedge would be much more suited for this particular bird murder. Also, these three penguins all fall simultaneously, but defy Newton's second law by hitting the first part of the Rube iceberg machine in consecutive fashion. Rico doesn't choke and die after ingesting this large egg. And yes, this is Rico's thing, but it's still bullshit. Here's an extra 20 sins to cover all the rest of the times the large item swallowing happens. These penguins are now shot to a height higher than the original fall, but don't need any Deus Ex Machinas this time to survive the impact.
I think I have amniotic sac in my mouth.
Amniotic fluid, maybe, but bird eggs have more of an amniotic cavity than a sac. And honestly, it's much more likely that you got splashed with some albumin. Bird brain. Cool, got it. This section takes place sometime after I've decided to watch this movie. I'm going to say it's 2185. Cool. So, sometime in 2185, continue.
10 years ago on this very day, a tiny egg hatched.
His egg hatched in 1933, not 2175. This movie is having major issues with its timeline continuity. This attempt at camouflage doesn't even really work from the audience's elevated perspective, let alone from the perspective of this guard who is watching them roll directly at him.
Rico, sonic incursion device.
Where the f*** are they keeping that hidden? Actually, now that I say that out loud, even if you have that info, I am no longer interested in knowing it.
Oh, come on, you're kidding, right?
Kentucky, Skipper. They do love their flattened scrugs.
All those 5- and 6-year-old flattened Scruggs fans in 2014 were all in after this line of dialogue.
We got you something else.
Requiring all Fort Knox employees to walk through the most secure room on site to get to the break room.
You mess with a bull, you're gonna get the horns, Private.
Dismissing the need for consent based on the horniness of the offender.
Where'd Private go?
Oh, there he is. D3.
Okay, look, how hard is it to animate f***ing vending machine numbers correctly? First, he's not in D3, he's clearly in E3. Second, why the f*** is row G skipped and it goes straight from F to H? This machine has rows numbered A, C, C, E, F, H, I. Wait. Are there 2 row C's? When I press C3, how does the machine know which one to even give me? Not that it matters, considering every single vending slot is the same exact product. Which leads me to ask, why the f*** is F3 mostly empty? Are those where the best cheesy dibbles live? Oh, and don't even get me started on a touchpad going to L and 9 when there isn't even a need to go past I or 5. I said don't even get me started. Speaking of I5, why does the I roll make the I's look so much like the number 1? You know how many people are going to punch in 15 instead, do you? It's a f***ing lot, you moronic then f***s. A lot. And wait, is F3 mouthful again? How lazy do you have to be? That's it. Done. I'm out. When they ask you what happened, tell them it was a vending machine that ended me.
Not making the walls in Fort Knox vending machine proof. making this vending machine a TARDIS but not realizing it now stands for time and relative dimensions in stupidity. Ha, 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 ha.
Oh, f that noise, I'm back. But I swear if that vending machine returns, I will... Wait, why is the button to prepare the laser over here instead of with the other laser controls?
Naughty, naughty. Pretty birds belong in their cages.
Discount Bill Hader is not voiced by actual Bill Hader.
Dave! Dave! Dave!
This Dave's on for all the some time. Seriously, cut back to it. I bet it's still daving.
Ah.
See?
Sorry.
Madagascar spin-off movie decides to incorporate jokes that even fucking Shrek wouldn't use, and that is depressing.
You may not remember me, but I could never forget you. Let's shake up some old memories.
Keeping your vengeance snow globes on display, just in case you need to do some flashback exposition. This whole using his tank water for the toilet refill tank thing is kind of genius, but that's way too much water to use on every flush. So your lack of environmental awareness is getting you a sin.
Nicholas Cage them.
These terrible name puns that will run through the entire movie. Aaron, Taylor, John, sin them.
You messed with the wrong birds, because we are an elite unit. Best of the best.
Scene does not contain an Eric Roberts, a Christopher Penn, or a Philip Ree. Thinking umbrellas are trampolines. I blame Mario. Mario.
So, you squeegees want to do the gondola mambo?
Doing the gondola mambo.
I've lost visual. Kowalski, be my eye!
Or you've got 3 penguins available to do your job, who can actually see. This scooter is able to support the weight of the boat and all 5 passengers. And for those viewers now shouting, it's an animated movie, give me a break, I would like to welcome you to the channel. And then welcome you to off.
We've got melons! Get ahead!
Thing every thirsty teenager in 1997 said when they realized Titanic was rated PG-13 somehow makes its way into the script.
Remain calm, penguins.
Benedict Cumberbatch isn't butchering the word penguin in this scene.
Private, dibble me.
Thinking that Rico would store a full bag of dibbles in his esophagus of holding instead of just eating them.
Like penguins.
Benedict Cumberbatch butchers the word penguin in this scene.
Self-destruct sequence activated.
You know, you should really label these things.
And cover them, and add progressive steps to the activation, and locate it away from the main console, and also a self-destruct sequence that can be turned off by simply pressing the exact same button again.
Arrival. Pad 17.
Not clearly labeling your arrival pad so the pilot can tell where the pad 17 is.
Dr. Brian is not an octopus. He is...
An octopus. Precisely. That's exactly what our intel indicated.
Release the sheep.
Letting this suspicious sheep go without at least double-checking your new information first.
Debbie, Dave.
This not getting Dave's name right bit stopped being funny around the 3rd time and hasn't resumed being funny the 17 times since. I shall let you know if that changes.
I have to go do some shopping for revenge.
Where do you even go to purchase revenge? I mean, that feels like something Spencer Gifts might carry, but they would always be sold out of it, and you would have to settle for a fart jar or a 42-inch good guy doll.
Oh yeah, baby! It's like Super Bowl 19.
Is that a reference to the pregame jetpack show at Super Bowl 19? What in the obscure reference, hell?
I make my own options.
Damn it, is every button in this universe installed for maximum safety hazard?
Aim for first class.
Aim for first class? Let's start with how the f did you manage to fall through the exterior of the plane? Pilots of this plane have yet to do anything about the penguin on the dash, despite him being there for almost 10 seconds now.
Cause these folks are gonna freak!
I can no longer sin that it's not this easy to pop open an emergency exit door, but I can sin that it is apparently sometimes this easy to pop open an emergency exit door.
Oh, Private, stop playing with those backpacks.
Humor-based situational awareness. These penguins know what a plane is and that croissants come from Paris, but parachutes? Never heard of them. Bending it like BCAM.
We are the North Wind, and no one breaks the wind.
Get it? It's a fart joke. Do you get it?
Sorry, laddie.
Oh, look at that, you little baby squid. Now I get to go back where I was. Where to be bought and boiled to death before being devoured by a human. This movie is adorable.
Stranded on the Emerald Isle without a single clue. Well, so much for the luck of the Irish.
From someone who has seen more Notre Dame football games than I care to count, I can almost guarantee you there is no such thing as luck of the Irish. Conveniently timed regurgitation of convenient plot globe that is conveniently pointing to the convenient place the penguins already conveniently are is convenient. This kid not only picks out Rico to get the snacks out of, but somehow knows that if he just reaches down the throat of a penguin, he'll be able to find something. And why are these kids who came in this place with no backpack not concerned that they now have backpacks on? F***ing kids. No one sees this severely conspicuous sea suit sushi snacking.
I want to help the team. really help the team.
Movie is trying desperately to get me emotionally invested and skip.
Flash, it's a go.
The 4 words Warner Brothers regrets saying a few years ago somehow made their way into the script. These leopard seals are about to break through this glass, and beyond the nightmare that is thinking this would even be possible, why does the water that spills out barely cover the floor of this room? I've seen Mission Impossible, and that tank was much smaller. I know what this should look like. The penguins just walked right in the area with no issue. So why do Classified and company have to sneak in? I know Hollywood thinks we love seeing circles cut through walls and glass, and to be fair, we absolutely do, but I'm me, so f*** off. I guess this movie has decided that leopard seals are the glass breakers of the sea, and I don't know how I feel about that.
Too much, too much, too much, too much, too much.
Thinking that this movie has any clue whatsoever when it's reached too much. So earlier when Corporal said,
Go fetch.
he had to go get this device so he could, stationary zipline in front of a boat he could have just ridden on to begin with? And why did he have to fetch it in the first place instead of just grabbing it and hooking it on while running on the dock? Was your dog's fetch things joke really worth it, movie?
Kowalski's sick as a dog. Enrico keeps trying to eat him.
Penguin cannibals. Penguinables? Caningwins? Also, I did not have Penguin Centipede on my Sins bingo card today, but here we are. Marking your days on the outside of your cell where you can't even see them.
Those two are very close. Together. I mean, intertwined. Physically.
This movie is horny.
Diverse.
I picked the die version. Can someone make sure this is the die version?
We celebrate with a well-earned high one and feast off Dave's sweet remains.
So Dave's remains would turn into a pineapple? I'd, at the very least, rather watch the movie where that happens than this.
Corporal, dim the lights. Short fuse, glasses.
Corporal doesn't end up with at least third-degree burns on his paw after putting out the fire with it.
See that? I don't even look back. There's a huge explosion and I just keep walking.
Pointing out your own cliches.
His is better.
Well, considering you were already beaten 4-2 before you voted, Skipper, not sure why your comments matter. But yet we still have to take time out of our lives to listen to them.
We take this shame to our graves.
Being ashamed of these spiffy duds, but not being ashamed to run around the first half of the movie covered in cheesy dibble dust.
The movies.
All right, boys, grab your coconuts and hold them tight.
Get it? It's a testicles joke? Do you get it? Also, where the were they keeping the coconuts hidden? Actually, now that I say that out loud, even if you have that info, I am no longer interested in knowing it.
Horrible mutant penguins unleashed on the streets of New York City.
Teasing us with a much better finale than the movie delivers. So does it reload now? Is there a full new chair that comes out? Why waste ammunition and supplies on a pre-ride audience demonstration?
Oh no, we're dead! Dead! Dead!
Dead.
Again, huge army of octopi.
Perhaps he's having trouble understanding your incorrect plural for octopuses. Octopi is a very different thing that combines sushi and dessert, similar to kekamari.
Listen up, Doris.
It's worth mentioning that Skipper has correctly identified this person as Dave for the last 30 minutes of the movie, but is returning to this tired joke now because comedy! Feeling the need to write out that it's New York for us when we can see the Statue of Liberty.
Breaking news! The missing penguins have been found!
I'm gonna go ahead and say missing penguins would never get breaking news treatment in New York City. Maybe in Boise, Idaho, but not New York City. Thinking that these barriers could stop penguins from escaping when we've already seen them do this and this.
Somebody called the exterminators!
Who are apparently ready with a line of extermination vacuums to pull up in dramatic fashion just like they teach in extermination school.
Don't eat that!
Having the same fears as DJ Khaled.
I need my skipper.
Hey, that's me. He's talking to me. I'm the skipper. I've got you, little buddy. Skip. That cookie/cake looks lovely, but where and how exactly do you bake that in the Arctic? The Avengers spin is the new Matrix bullet dodge, isn't it?
I figured if we could reverse the ray, we could turn everyone back to normal.
They will now figure out how to reverse the ray.
I'm the secret weapon.
I no longer know what's going on, guys.
Charlize, they're on the ray! Helen, hunt them down! Doc William, hurt them! Hallie, bury them! You, Jack, man the battle stations!
Okay, game recognized game. That was a good run. Jeffrey, rush into sin removal before I change my mind.
We're only gonna get one shot at this, boys.
How could you possibly know that? You don't even know if the ray is going to do what you want it to do.
Dead batteries.
No, low batteries. There's a difference, and that difference is the sum of a single sin. Not checking what kind of batteries you need before going to the store to get batteries.
There's just too many of them!
I scream, you scream, we all scream for Deus Ice Cream enough.
Oh, that's
That's why you look back at the explosion.
You were sideswiped by the vehicle, so looking back wouldn't have done a thing to help you. Even if I could believe that the Dibble Skibber launches would stay on course to hit the button activating the machine, I still can't buy that the Dibble would be able to apply enough pressure to push the button that would activate the machine.
Private.
Saving Private Ryan.
Looks don't matter. It's what you do that counts.
And ironically, what he did was save how everyone looked, which you're now saying doesn't matter. So, way to contradict your own lesson, bro. The transition from this to this is all the bullshit.
What? Are you kidding me?
Also, to be clear, the movie expects us to believe Dave was shrunk and then placed inside a snow globe by the machine. That is a thing that is actually happening right now.
The point is, I was wrong about you.
You were not.
Jetpacks are awesome!
I honestly thought jetpack technology would be cooler by 2185. Ah, well.
Why does this cow always smell of cheese puffs?
Very good. Push. Push.
Rico, sonic incursion device.
Open the f***ing door.
Kowalski, analysis.
Well, let's see. First, the Earth cooled, and then the dinosaurs came. But they got too big and fat, so they all died, and they turned into oil.
The only thing that has kept me going all these years is my burning thirst for revenge!
And my precious souvenir snow globe collection.
Snow globe collection.
Damn it, Dave.
Hi, Christopher. I'm Nero.
Yes, we've got you. That's fantastic.
Now, where was I?
Maniacal laugh.
Oh, they gave us badges.
We don't need no badges.
Is penguins. Crested penguin. Parent penguin heading...
It's alive! It's alive! It's alive!
Do you expect me to talk?
No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die.
It's like I can still hear his little voice calling to us.
We're here! We're here! We're here!
No!
Hanging around. Kids got alligator blood. Can't get rid of him.